Alright, Oasis inspired cocktails in the area.
So at time of filming, we're about halfway through the 2025 World Tour, and today we're going to make 4 cocktails, which are going to tell a little history of the band, as well as, I think, give you that perfect drinking progression if you're going to see one of the shows. Alright, let's go. So I'm going to start right at the very beginning, with the parents of the Gallagher brothers originating from County Meath and County Mayo before emigrating to Burnage, Manchester. I want to do a cocktail that celebrates their Irish heritage, as well as having that perfect kickstart to gig day. So this one's called the Look of the Irish Breakfast. So I'm going to start with 30ml or an ounce of cereal milk. Now, I got this recipe from the Educated Barfly, an American channel, so they use a Lucky Charms cereal. The closest we have in the UK is called Matey Mate, but either way, just make some cereal and use the milk. So 30ml in there. 30ml or 1 ounce of coconut cream, 30ml or 1 ounce of pineapple juice, and 60ml, 2 ounces of Irish whiskey. Shake through with ice. Any kind of highball glass, this should just fill about halfway up. Going to fill this with crushed ice. And then I'm going to sprinkle on top the marshmallow parts from the Lucky Charms or the Matey Mates. And that is the look of the Irish breakfast to get ourselves started for gig day. Next up, to kind of honour the rise of the band, I need to include a gin and tonic in this. It's always just felt so synonymous with them ever since they rhymed it with Supersonic on their debut single, which North claims to have written in 30 minutes when they couldn't get a decent take of the Plum single Bring It On Down. Also, it's just a gin and tonic. It's just that perfect midday kind of getting ourselves revved up kind of drink. Now, of course, I can't just film myself pouring gin and tonic into a glass, so I'm going to try and elevate it a little bit, just using this kind of traffic lighty technique of just layering these fruits. Just need to have some fruit that's a similar size to whatever glass you're using. And that should work nicely. I'm going to use about 15ml of lime juice. I think it just needs more than the slice you would normally get. Let's do a good amount of gin, 60ml or 2 ounces. And then, of course, just any tonic water to the top. There you go, guys. Slightly elevated presentation, but a simple gin and tonic, and things are now getting serious. We're now going to skip forward to what was the end of the band. After decades of feuding, it all came to a head in Paris in August 2012. Noel claims that the straw that broke the camel's back was Liam wielding a guitar and then throwing a plum across the dressing room at him. We're going to need to honour that night, but we also need a drink which is going to be the last thing you drink before you head to the gig. You're not going to want to use the bathroom. We're going to need something as short as possible, as strong as possible, and something that's crushable. So we're going to make the sugar plum. So this is essentially a sour recipe. Take a sugar element, double the amount with a citrus, and then double the amount again with a liquor. So we're going to start with 15ml or half an ounce of Grenadine, 30ml or 1 ounce of grapefruit juice, 60ml or 2 ounces of any gin. And get this chilled down. And I'm going to double strain this one into a coupe glass or a Nick and Nora. And that's the sugar plum that should at least finish us off for the night. Now, to finish off, I wanted to include a brunch style cocktail to help us with that post-gig come down the next day, and also something to celebrate the reunion as a whole. So this is a drink for ultimate brotherly love, the BroMosa. 15ml or half an ounce of Aperol or Campari. I do think Aperol is better, but Campari is just what I have on hand. 90ml or 3 ounces of orange juice. Now this drink's from an LA bar called The Varnish, so they use Miller High Life. I think to make this as Oasis appropriate as possible, it has to be a red stripe. It seemed to be their drink of choice, certainly in the early days. So just fill that as much as you like. All right, history of the band in 4 drinks, and should hopefully set you up nicely if you're going to one of the concerts. All right, see you in the next one. Cheers now.